talking about what's your word for the year and how will it shape you in 2020. And I just want to talk about this aspect of having a theme for the year, having something that you meditate on, that you dive deeper into to grow yourself. Let's make that a little bit darker. I think that looks better. Either way, we're going to be diving into that in just a sec, but I want to say thank you for tuning in. Jess, thanks so much for coming on. I had a blast with you. I definitely did spell that wrong, so if you guys want to pop that in, the official spelling, I did entrepreneur. I've been typing entrepreneur so many times, so I put entreprises. So feel free to put it in the correct spelling. I'll go ahead and delete my comment out so you can get the official spelling of Jess of Brannis Enterprises. But yeah, this is the lineup today. The theme is 2020, new year, new decade. And we're going to be diving into this conversation about what's your word for the year and how will it shape you. First, a drink, a cheers. I'll cheers all day. Cheers to 2020. Let's make it the best year ever. To the best decade ever. To the best life ever. Do I have to drink like 3 gulps every hour? Man, I'm gonna need to pee. To the best life ever and needing to pee. That's right. So, what's your word for the year? What is your word for the year and how will it shape you? We're going to be diving into this conversation for the next hour. Before that, though, let's talk to you. Take a moment to pause and reflect and bask in the greatness that is you. You are an infinite being, an infinite creator. You're so powerful, so expansive, epic, infiniteness is within you. Anything you desire to be, do, and have, it is yours. So thank you for tuning into becoming your greatest possible self so that we can equip you, empower you, remind you who you are already, help you unlearn all the BS that you've picked up that doesn't serve you, and inspire you to stay true all the way through on your vision of becoming your greatest possible self. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying plugged in to this source of empowerment, as well as all the sources, coaches, live events, people who move you to be your greatest possible self. Thank you for staying plugged in. That is a key to being your GPS. Next up is the iTunes review of the week. This week it's by Pete and Merritt, who says, awesome, fantastic content from experts about what it really takes to live a full, passionate, and purpose-driven life. Thank you, Chris, for all this fabulous work. Pete and Merritt, thank you so much for that review. If you want to give us a review, go to beergps.com/iTunes or search Greatest Possible Self on the Apple Podcast Store. And thank you so much for doing that in advance, for letting us know what you love, what you want to see more of, how we can improve this epic 12-hour live stream so it's even better for you in the future. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's start off with the theme of today. 2020, new year, new decade. Why? Why did I choose this theme? I wonder. Yep, I wonder why I chose 2020, new year, new decade. And thank you for making it to this point, for being a human being who cares enough to keep showing up, to keep developing yourself, to keep choosing to live, because not everyone made it to today. Hate to say it, but a couple people in my life, a couple close people passed away last year, and it was truly sad. It was sad, and they had a lot of life, as far as I was concerned, left in them to live, to keep showing up and sharing their gifts and making people smile. And they didn't make it. Lost an uncle, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So just know that every breath is a gift. And as Jess and I were talking about in the last interview, like, it's so important that we show up in life living with urgency, with purpose, with boldness, with confidence, and not caring about what other people think. I think it's important to do it a little bit. I think it would go into the realm of what is it, psychopath, being a psychopath. You literally have zero care of what other people think. You have zero empathy. That's not good. But to stop caring what people think if it is disrupting you or distracting you from living your purpose and sharing your greatest gifts with the world. If you care more about what other people think than being true to yourself, being authentic to yourself, standing for what you believe in, creating a great life for yourself, delivering the value and the gifts that you have, if you care more about what other people think, then you're missing the point. Okay? It's not a popularity contest. It's about being true to you. So in this last year, in this last decade, how did you see you did on that? I know for me personally in the last decade, I started my entrepreneurship journey 7 years ago. So that was a big breakthrough in the chapters of my story in my book, a brand new season of life. And there's been many new seasons since then. And I would like to say I've learned as much as I possibly could from that last decade. And I know that there's still more gold to mine from that. There's more creation to do for the future of what I want, what I'm choosing, what I'm moving towards, what I want to build. And there's also more presence to be here and now, and not be in the past and not be in the future, but to be here and now and really enjoy, have fun, be spontaneous, play. I get to grow in all three areas. The big thing for me has been not having guilt that I'm not doing enough, not having shame. Guilt isn't necessarily bad. It's shame. Shame is saying I am bad. Guilt is saying the activity, the behavior is bad. So I just love Brene Brown. She's just crushing it. But shame, are you carrying any shame from the past? If so, let it go. What a great year. What a great time to get clear that it no longer serves you. Moving into this new year. Okay? So 2020, you may or may not have seen it yet, but 2020 relates also to your vision, right? 2020 vision, it's clear vision. I think 2015 is the best, something like that. I don't know if it gets better than that. It might get better than that. 2020 vision is creating the clarity this year. And I think there's massive energy around clarity for you to live your purpose. To get clear on this next year, what do you want to be, do, and have in 2020, as well as this next decade. And I think I heard that Japan businesses plan or forecast or create their vision for up to, I've heard up to 50 years. I think I've even heard up to 100 years. Some businesses plan for 100 years out. And I think it's so amazing. Are you planning that far? I want to bring this reminder to you. I'm sure you've heard this pounded into you again and again and again. That's not what I'm here to do today. I'm here to remind you that you have the power to create the clarity that you seek. And for me, today I wanted to talk about the word for the year. And I'm going to use myself as an example because for me, it's just been an aha moment. And I want to share about my journey over the last year, what my word was, how it has influenced this year. Last year's word was evolve. 2019, my word was evolve. And I see elements of evolution. I see my business evolved, my pricing structure evolved for my services, what I offer was evolved. Doing live retreats, that was the first time in Bali that we did that. A lot of my life has evolved. And I don't think I really meditated on that on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. I didn't put a ton of time and energy into saying, hey, this is my theme for the year, evolve. How is it influencing my life? Did you have a word for the year? I would love to hear it. Put it in the comments, take a screenshot of this, put it up on your stories, however you're listening to this live or replay. By the way, the replay of this, if you're listening to it, it's either going to be on Facebook or if you're listening to the podcast, just kudos to you. And it would be about the end of January. I think it's four weeks after right now, a 4-week lead time from marathon to the podcast. How are you executing on your word for the year? Do you have one? Have you been meditating on it? Is it still present for you? Because for me, evolve wasn't super present in my year. And I thought it was a cool word. I think it happened. I lived it. I can see the correlations. I could see why it was important to me at the time. I said, I want to evolve out of this scarcity, stuckness that I was in. And looking back now, I can see that I really have evolved. My income has increased. My abundance, energy, and way of being, abundance and prosperity, has increased. My work ethic has increased. The number of guests that come on the marathon increased. Number of clients, number of people I serve, it has all increased. So in that aspect, I've evolved. And I think the evolution from scarcity to something higher, something more abundant, something more spiritual, something more divine has definitely happened this last year. So in that aspect, I would say that is the highest form of my evolution, is going from just asking God for guidance. And, we welcome all spiritual beliefs and traditions and whatever you believe. Like, you are totally empowered and entitled to believe what you believe. Like, go for it. For me personally, I went from Christian growing up to atheist when I was 16, 15 to 20-ish, 21, atheist, about 5-6 years, because I wanted to rebel against my parents. And I said, nobody understands me. And what is love? Screw love. I don't need love. I'm better than love. So it was mostly rebellion. How much was I actually saying, I'm going to go practice atheism? I think it was just like lazy. Like, I'm going to rebel, and here's how I can rebel the easiest. It's just declare this is who I am. And there were a lot of negative consequences with that. But I turned into an agnostic, saying, hey, I don't know what is out there. And that lasted probably about 2 or 3 years. And then I said, you know what? I believe in something. I believe in some spiritual higher power about 4-5 years ago. And over time, I've just gotten closer and closer back to God, source, creator, master creator, universe. Like, I've even been exploring the Bhagavad Gita, different religions and spiritual texts, not deeply. I'm very, very, very amateur, huge amateur on all this stuff. But I said, hey, I want to go explore it. I want to go just check it out and see what's there. And I've been surrounded by people who are, I don't know if they would call themselves Christian, but study the Bible. And that has come back into my life. And I have really studied that. But I didn't get to this point simply by showing up one day and say, all right, let's study the Bible. No, like, I was saying, whatever is out there, whatever spiritual power is out there, whatever God, source, universe, creator, love, infinite intelligence, there's so many different names for it. Whatever is out there, it's way more powerful than me, because how my life is going, I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. I've been pretending to know. I've been trying to figure it out. I've been trying to logic my way through, control my way through, and I just don't know what's going on. Okay, so this is all from me personally. I want you to be thinking about, over the last year, what have you grown through? What's been important to you? What's impacted your life, especially going into the next year, this year, 2020? What do you want to be focusing on? What's important for you? What has been knocking at your door, saying, here I am, do this? I think Jess was saying how to relax, how to let go of control, how to delegate. I wonder what her word is for the year. I don't know. We didn't get that deep, that concrete. So Jess, if you're out there, I would love to hear what that is. And Jessica says, my 2019 word was simplicity. Woo! Guess what I learned? It's not in my nature to keep things simple. LOL, I had to work really hard at my word. My 2020 word is intention. I'm psyched about it. I'm all in. Intention. I love it. I love it, Jessica. I want to hear, what does that look like manifesting? Tell me more. Give me more context around intention, so that, number one, you can create it for yourself. You can create it for everyone who's in the chat, but also for me. I'd love to share about that and continue to build upon that and give that life. Because when you share your word, when you share your intention, when you share, for me, my word for the year is faith, that builds power. Because I'm reaffirming who I am, what's important to me, who am I being. So along last year, I said to God, source, universe, creator, like, I surrender. I give up my power. I give up trying to control. I give up the identity Chris Burns and being limited by trying to do everything through my identity, by what I know, by what I've learned, by what I've experienced. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know. Show me. Show me the path. Show me what is in my highest and best good. Show me how to love myself. Show me how to love the woman of my dreams. Show me how to love my family. Show me how to show up as the best business partner for my business partner. Show me how to show up as the best leader. Show me how to be the best host for the 12-hour live stream, Become Your Greatest Possible Self. And so I just got to this place of like letting go, of surrender, of trust. And it's a ongoing process, trust me. And I would say it was some really defining moments and points where I felt it, where I gave it all up, where I gave up my burden, where I gave up trying to carry all this stuff. So look back in the year and ask, what were the defining moments that led you to, for example, for Jessica, for intention? What were the events that led up to intention? What were those significant moments that had you say, man, this is really something I get to double down on in this 2020? I get to 10x, I get to 100x. And why? Why is it important for me to give this more energy, to embody this even more, to make this a manifesto for my life? Faith. Like, Chris, why faith? And for me, personally, my journey has been about getting out of my afraid, stuck, unhealed, wounded little boy and becoming infinite again, releasing the traumas, releasing the fear, the shame, the guilt, so that I can step into my power again, so that I can be a conduit for whatever God, source, universe, creator wants to bring through me. I don't need the validation. I don't need to be in charge or to be responsible for everything that happens. I don't need to be in control. I'm choosing to let go. I'm choosing to surrender. I'm choosing to allow it to flow through me. I'm choosing to allow God. I'm being grateful for God being in control of everything. You know, God is in control. Universe, master, creator, whatever you want to call it, infinite intelligence, universal love, unconditional love, is in control. Mother Earth is in control of everything. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I am not in control. Like, hallelujah, I get to celebrate like crazy because I'm not in control. I'm in control of what I can do. I'm in control of responding to my thoughts, responding to how life happens. I am in control of my response. Reaction is unconscious. Response is by choice. Write that down. If you haven't said that one to yourself like a billion times, write it down again. Even if you said it to yourself a billion times, do it a billion one. Reaction equals unconscious. Response equals conscious. How do I respond? How am I responding in this moment? And you can even ask yourself, like, am I responding with my blinking? Am I responding with my breathing? Am I responding with how I am sitting? Is my body, am I being responsive in a healthy posture? And am I being responsive in drinking when my throat feels dry? Drink a lot. I chug. I love chugging. Am I responsive in creating my tasks for the week? Am I responsive in getting the interviews out to our guests? Like, this is an area I react in. I react in fear and scarcity and overwhelm and stories and excuses. It's like, how do I get the episodes to our guests? Because there's so many people that we interview on 12-hour marathon. Oh my gosh, I can't keep up with it all. That is a reaction. Versus a response is to say, what can I do? How can I ask my team for support with this task? How can I put the things in place? How can I respond? How can I, let's say at the end of the day, did I put the things in place that would be effective response towards this challenge? Did I effectively use my time? Did I effectively respond to my top priority? Did I effectively respond to my one thing? Did I effectively respond to my word for the year? Faith. Did I effectively respond to that word? Well, given that I'm talking about it in this 1-hour interview, given that I decided it a day or two ago or 3 days ago, something like that, faith would be my word for 2020. Given that I've been studying the Bible, I would say if I'm responding effectively enough. I like, good job. I don't think I'll let this one land yet. Good job, Chris. Good job, Chris. Good job, Chris. Chris, good effort. Good effort. It's not perfection that we're looking for. It's not having everything all figured out. It's not being perfect. It's not having all the answers. It's not even being 100% on target, right? It's that perfection as a standard that I think we can use to just crush ourselves and our self-esteem and our confidence, our self-image, our power. So, Chris, great job. You've been reading the Bible. You're talking about it on the marathon. You are living this message of faith. Is there room for improvement? Sure. Are there other ways you could be doing it? Sure. Did you do more than you did a week ago or 3 weeks ago? Yes. Are you doing more than that? Are you sharing about it more? Are you sharing about it differently? Are you diving into it differently? Are you going in from a different angle, from a different context? So with whatever your word is, for example, Jessica, because she's been sharing, by the way, she says, it was many moments in 2019 of feeling out of control. I realized in those moments that it wasn't enough in those moments to set or create an intention. I needed to be intentional. Reaction equals unconscious response. Unconscious. Response equals conscious. Love it. Love it, Jessica. You're the bomb. Love you. You're such a superstar. So intention. With this word intention, what are you doing about it? What does it look like to meditate on it? And when you do it, do you give yourself credit? Do you give yourself a pat on the back? When you ask yourself, hey, what was my intention for the day at the end of today? And then you ask yourself, did I fulfill on it? That practice, that habit of setting intention, checking in, setting the intention for a week, checking in, intention for your life. Are you clear on that, on the year goal? Are you naturally just being that, right? Like not everything is just setting an intention and then following through with it. There might be the aspect of setting intention, but there might be a disconnect from it or a letting go, a surrendering an intention. Okay, so it's not always just checking off the checklist. Did I do the thing that I wanted to do? But intention has so many different aspects. And do you celebrate it when you do it? And I patted myself on the back. I said, good job, Chris. Good effort. Good job. Good job, right? But even when I did it, it was kind of minimal. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. I know that there's people watching. It's kind of awkward, but I'm still going to do it because I know it's important. And I literally gave myself a pat on the back. I literally, rubbed my shoulder, did something that says, hey, body, Chris, this being Chris is doing something good. It did something good. Good job. And there's like a minor, like, good job, good physical body stimulus. And then there's a good one, a big one, like, good job, Chris. Yes. 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 That is the fastest way to program yourself to do even more of that, right? The more your physiology is involved, the higher the level of emotion, the more it reprograms whatever the pattern is. So let's say I have a pattern of not acknowledging the things that I do right, and I do it, and I said, hey, well, I did it. And I look for something wrong. Well, I didn't do enough. Well, I didn't do it right. Well, nobody saw. Well, I didn't get the result that I wanted. The first thing that a lot of people look for is what to criticize, what went wrong. And to reprogram that, especially in this new year, 2020, of year of intention, year of faith, year of whatever your word is. Would love to hear what that is. Write it in the comments. Happy New Year, Robert J. Moore. Love you, bro. Would love to hear what your word is. Drop it in the comments. The thing I wanted to mention, though, is to celebrate when you do it, okay? This year, 2020, and every year and every day, when you are meeting your intention, when you are clear on your word, and then you execute on it, do you celebrate? Do you celebrate like it's a little kid who's learning how to walk? And it's like they've been crawling, your son, your daughter, whatever. They've been crawling, they're trying to get up and they keep falling, they're trying to get up and they keep falling. You're like applauding them just for trying, just for the effort. Like the getting up and walking, that's like, hallelujah, yay. But you're like, keep going. You got this. Come on. Come to daddy. Come to daddy. Come to mommy. Come to mommy. There is this powerful encouragement. Do you give yourself that encouragement? And I would reckon to say it's highly unlikely, at least at that level, at least at that consistency, at least at that level of innocence, of love, of commitment, of wonder. And that's what I really want to bring to this conversation as well, is having a word is great, but if you beat yourself up for not doing it, if you never really celebrate when you do it, why did you set the word? Why would you even set a word? Let's dive into that too. That's a great conversation. Why would you even set a intention for the year? I love that your word for the year is intention, Jessica. That's so awesome. Why would you even create a word? I believe I've found that the basics, I've heard it time and time again, that the basics is what we get to master. Not all these shiny objects and advanced techniques. I think it's Bruce Lee or a Shaolin monk or someone says, an ancient Shaolin monk says, I'm not afraid of the man who's practiced 10,000 different techniques, 10,000 different punches once. But I'm deathly afraid of the man who's practiced one punch 10,000 times. That is mastering the basics. And John Wooden coached high school basketball, and he just drilled and drilled and drilled and drilled and drilled on the basics. And that's how his team got great. So when we can master the basics, that's when we thrive in life. And if there is a basic in your life, faith, hello, that is missing, you will see the consequences of it. What basic of your life are you missing? Is it letting go of control? Is it being happy? Is it controlling your energy, your emotions? Is it remembering yourself that you are reminding yourself that you are in control and not being a victim? Is it self-care? Is it well-being? Is it abundance? Is it prosperity? Is it confidence? What is it for you? What is the basic that you get to master in your life? What have you not been paying attention to? I love Jess's intention. It's so spot on. What is the basic that you get to master? Chantel, what's up? So my basic was faith. Okay. I said evolution as a concept. So what does it mean to evolve? Like, I can look at that every day. It's not necessarily a basic, you know. I said the word, I set the intention because I thought it was cool. I was like, evolution. I love evolution. Evolution is shiny. Evolution is transformation. Evolution is, well, I want to get to the end result. So whatever the heck I got to go through to make that happen, let's do it. And it worked out. It was a great year. Now I want to take away the need for things to be sexy. And I think we oftentimes can have this desire or this craving or this compulsion for things to be sexy and go fast, instant gratification, shiny object, be dazzling and brilliant. Take away that need, or at least notice it, be aware of it, set that to the side. You can always pick it up later and say, what's the basic I get to master? For me, it's faith. For me, it's saying, when I set a goal, a dream, a vision, what does it take to make that happen? If it is born in my heart, if it is born in my soul, if it is the thing that I'm aligned with and I'm connected with and I choose with all my heart, soul, and being, like that is me, that vision is me, and I pour everything that I have into it, I have faith that it will manifest. Because let me tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Burns' big secret, ever since I started entrepreneurship, I had no faith in myself. I showed up, I worked my butt off, I knew a lot of things, but I didn't know a lot more. I had a lot of looking good. I was a freaking pro at looking good. That's why I'm great on the marathon, because I look good on the marathon. I make it look easy. I'm great at making it fun, entertaining. I make other people look good. I'm able to share that energy with others. And I was so good at looking good, but deep down inside, I felt this massive insecurity, massive unworthiness, massive just, man, I suck. Every night I would go to bed like, what is wrong with me? Why am I not hitting my goals? Why am I not where I want to be? Why am I not doing the things that I want to do? Why am I not yet traveling the world? Why is not all my debt paid off? Why am I not, before I met the woman of my dreams, why am I not with the woman of my dreams? How am I going to provide for my family? How am I going to, make it onto that stage? How am I going to finish this book? Man, I'm such a loser. I didn't finish that book. God, so hard on myself. Because in the back of my mind, when I set a goal, I didn't think I could actually achieve it. I set these goals and I said I'm going to do it, and I had energy and vigor. But as soon as I left the spotlight, as soon as I left the coaching call, as soon as I left the seminar, I retreated. I retreated from my greatness. I retreated from my power. I retreated from being the gift to others. I bought back in to the personality that I had been sold growing up, which is I'm small, insecure, powerless, don't have any value to add to the world. That was my story as a teenager. I think a lot of us go through that. So for me, faith, to put my faith into something beyond just Chris Burns. Christopher Colin Burns is a pretty freaking legendary dude, let me tell you. And beyond Christopher Burns, to put my faith in something bigger, to leverage my faith in saying, I know that there is an infinite creator, infinite source, and I don't know. In truth, I have no idea. I don't know. My relationship with God and the infinite is so amateur, so premature, so baby, so just at the very, very beginning. And from what I have learned up until now, which isn't much, there is a massive freaking power that can create worlds, that can destroy and create universes. And I can choose to harness that power, or I can choose to try to do it on my own as this flawed and imperfect human being, which is an amazing human being, Chris Burns. And when I tried to do it on my own, I was just so crippled by the limitations that my logical mind, subconscious mind, brought to the surface. But when I tap back into that power of the infinite, then anything becomes possible. My execution on my dreams and my goals becomes possible. The vision that I speak into existence, I say, this vision was not brought to me because of me. This vision was brought to me by some higher power, universe, God, source, creator, gave this to me because I was ready, because I was meant to carry this into the world. So whatever your word is, you get to live this basic. You get to master this. You get to pour your energy, your being, your gratitude, your appreciation, your curiosity, your wonder, your discovery, all the energy that you have, you get to pour it into whatever your word is, whatever your focus is for 2020. For me, it's faith. For Jessica, it's intention. What is your word? I've heard people say gratitude. I've heard people say abundance. heard people say appreciation. I've heard people say health and well-being. What is your word? What is your focus for the year? What are you committing to? And maybe you know it, maybe you don't know it, but put something in the comments. Say, I'm thinking it's something around blank. I'm thinking it's something around my career. I'm thinking it's something around my relationship. Whatever area you want to improve, that's typically where it will come from. For me, last year, I said I want to improve my career. That's where evolution came from. I'm like, my career is not being where I want it to be. I want to evolve into a human being that can crush it in my career. This year, faith, I know it applies to every area of life. My relationship with my girlfriend, I really want to make that even more special, even more magical. My relationship with myself, I want to play more. I want to have fun. I'm more fun. I want to be self-expressed in my gifts and be more confident in those gifts. I might look confident on camera. I am confident to a degree. I love being confident and having great energy on a camera and even on stage and even in meeting people. And is it the fullest expression of Chris Burns? That's the real question. Like, what is the fullest expression of you? Who is the fullest expression of you? You get to choose. You get to create. Okay? So let's keep bringing it home with the word for the year. What's yours? Type it in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. As for me, my word is faith. And I know it's going to radiate and ripple out into every area of my life. It's going to show up. It's going to impact everything that I am, because like God is the source of everything in my life. My health, my wealth, my relationships, my spirituality, my physical presence, my energetic presence, like all of it. All of it is, for me, from my faith. So I get to take actions in alignment with that. For me, it's reading the Bible every day, studying it every morning. For me, it's having conversations with a good friend of mine, Justin, about the Bible, about spirituality, about God. Like, these are all aspects. Even in my daily life. Like for me, I used to like want things, desire things, lust for things, right? And I notice myself, like when these things or money or whatever it might be comes up on social media, I'm able to better control that feeling of lust, that desire to lust, that feeling of unworthiness. Like I've noticed a shift in it, going from almost like a compulsiveness to feeling feeling the desire, feeling the pull. It's like my mind is like, bro, you wanna go look at this, you wanna go do this, you wanna go experience this feels good, go check it out. I feel it, but I'm like, I'll wrestle with it for like 30 freaking seconds, 60 seconds. And they'll be like, no. It's like, it's my ability to resist temptation, resist short-term gratification, resist, so that I can stay in integrity with my performance, my priorities, and what's most important to me, which is my family, living a great life, having fun, being self-expressed, freedom. Those are super, super important to me. So just in studying and declaring these things, like faith, like surrendering to God, like having an intention, knowing what basic I need to master, which for me was giving up control, being grateful that God is in control of everything. That basic has already blossomed so much fruit. And we're not even, we like the first day of 2020. Granted, I started this about 6 months ago, really going ham with this. So I'm stoked to see what the year brings for me. But I just want to bring this conversation to you so you can get present to that which is most meaningful for you. What is going to make the biggest difference? What is the area of your life that you want to make the biggest change in? And I'm saying this again and again. I just want to drive it home. Like, I'm talking about it. I get to talk about this. One of the, man, God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be this conduit for you and for our guests to bring together a community, to bring together this movement of greatest possible self, to share some of the best ideas, the best conversations, valuable, entertaining, inspiring, moving, useful, to bring that together in this platform. Almost 3 years now, 124 12-hour live streams. Like, I'm so grateful for that because of how much I've been able to develop myself. By the way, if you don't have a podcast yet, if you're not doing Facebook Lives, if you're not sharing your message, maybe it's not for you, okay? I don't know. But if it is calling to you, just freaking start it. Because people's own personal recording and broadcasting station, you having Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, or pre-recorded stuff, or just a website in general, whatever. There's social media networks, TikTok, I don't care what you use, but you have that, and that ability is not, in my opinion, unless something happens in the government or world or whatever, internet shuts down, Internet of Things takes over, I don't know. But unless something hugely catastrophic or revolutionary happens, you will continue to have that ability. And if you do not choose to maximize, maybe it's not the priority, maybe it's not the season of life for you, I don't know. Whoever you are, you know what's best for you. But as far as for me and the people that I'm around, mastering your message, mastering your voice is so freaking critical. So if you have not started your podcast yet, if you have any questions about it, if you feel stuck on it, I know Vero commented on my post, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, saying like, hey, I'm starting this Espanol only podcast, talking about, I think it was personal development, something, I don't know. He was talking about that, and she's like, I need help because I know you help people with podcasts and have helped people launch their podcasts, like Kevin Castillo, who launched his Life Supercharged podcast. I love working with people who are like so similar to me, you know, like I'm not the guru. I don't have all the answers, but I like sharing what I've learned with people who want to grow on their journey and share their message, because I know what it's brought to my life, and being able to, well, I've interviewed 700 guests in the last almost 3 years, talked to many more, networked with many more. It's been such a blessing in my life. And I know I have blocked myself from growth and like asking for what I need because of wanting to look good and wanting to like have everything all together. I don't know if you can relate with that. It is me. So I relate to it. And this show has gotten me so much more outside of my comfort zone and gotten me into conversations I wouldn't have otherwise been blessed to experience. So having your own show, having your own platform, building your tribe, whether it's having an email list and you just want to email people what you got, or video or audio or whatever it is that you make, live events, I don't care. Whatever it is, do it. Build your platform, because that's like one of the most beneficial things that you can do in 2020 and beyond. Build that platform, build your audience, build your ability to communicate. And even if you're doing it in silence, even if you're doing it with nobody watching, even if you're doing it and you don't think a single person is getting benefit from it, one, I promise you, if you like care about it and you share about it with people, and like you actually are doing it with the intention of people seeing it, with faith that someone somewhere somehow is going to see it and get benefit from it, they will. Someone's life will be drastically improved, inspired, or changed because of it. And I love this analogy of, imagine you're driving a car and you're sitting there Car's stopped. Your hands are on the wheel. You got a Formula freaking One race car. Hands on the wheel. You're gripping it so tight. You're sitting there going 0 miles an hour. And you just start turning the wheel, 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 turning the wheel. And then you stop and you look and you're like, hey, nothing's changed. That is you thinking about all the different things that you could do. Thinking about the future, thinking about actions you could be taking, thinking about people you should contact, thinking about what content to put out on social media, thinking about launching the podcast, thinking about doing the live event, thinking about writing the book, thinking about telling someone you love them, thinking about sending those damn cards, thinking about messaging them guests and getting them their episode. Thinking, but you're going nowhere. Now, if you are just going 5 miles an hour and you're turning that wheel back and forth, you are going to feel that it's changing the trajectory of your life, of your vehicle. Right? You are your vehicle. You are the captain of your ship, your body, your life. Like you are sailing the seas of your life. You have a ship, you have a vessel, your body, your entity, right? So even if you're just going 5 miles an hour, and what that means is even if you're just taking one action a day, sending one message a day, just get started. 2 messages, 3 messages a day. If you're making one piece of content a week, one video on YouTube a week, one Facebook Live a week, just get started, whatever it is. Because at that point, you can course correct. You can turn the wheel and go a different direction. But you can't change your direction if you're not going anywhere, if you're not taking action. Action equals going more miles per hour. If you're not taking action, you're just thinking, you're going 0 miles per hour, you're stuck, you're stopped, you're not making any progress. And when you start to take action now, because you're taking action now, during this video, you're going to send someone a message, you're going to write something down, you're going to write down your dream, you're going to declare something, you're going to do a quick 10-second Instagram or Facebook video story saying, oh my gosh, I just got so inspired on becoming your greatest possible self. Thank you, Chris Burns, for everything that you're doing in the world. And here's what I'm committed to. Here's my word for the year. Here's what's important to me. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. Wherever you are is perfect, but go take new action that you didn't take before, or go take action again. Maybe you took action 5 years ago. You tried to do real estate and you got burned 10 years ago, something like that. Maybe you've done things, but you're in a new season where you're not doing things. Or maybe you've done things and you've slowed down. Maybe you took your foot off the gas. Maybe you got afraid of things happening so fast. You're like, I can't handle it all. Maybe you just know that there's more in you, whatever it is. Take action, show up, build your platform, launch your podcast, do your dang thing, be your GPS. Okay, that's the message of this hour, and would love to hear what your word is. What is important to you, especially for you, Jessica? What is important to you in this year for intention? What do you want to create with intention? What do you want to manifest? What do you want to change? How are you going to check in with yourself in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months on intention? Are you going to have a journal that you've been writing in every day? Meditating on intention. It's one of the most powerful things that you can do. If you have a word or an intention, write about it, journal about it, and every day think, how did I show up with this? How did this manifest in my life? Ding, ding, ding. Faith. Let's go. So that is the message I really wanted to bring to you. And if you have any questions about it, if you have desires to create your own platform, if you have questions, I'm here for you. I just want to support you. Feel free to message me. I will respond to the best of my ability with what I recommend as ways to proceed, as ways to get your dream into existence. Because I know what it's like to have a dream buried deep inside and have no idea how the heck I'm supposed to manifest it or create it or take action on it. But it's with continuously being curious, working at it, chipping away, taking one step at a time, celebrating yourself. Woohoo! And saying thank you. And whatever your higher power is, if you have one, asking for guidance. and being grateful for receiving it, and just trusting that everything is working out for your highest and best good.